Yeah, we are live now.
Yep, and we're live. All right, 9 p.m. Hello, welcome to the Survivor Syracuse post show where we're going to be talking about season 4 heroes versus villains. I'm Sabrina. I played in season 3 of Mind, Body, Soul. And then
I'm
Mike.
Mike. I played season 2 and season 3.
I'm Luke. I'm the host for seasons 1 to 4.
And I'm Molly. I played seasons 1 and 3.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. We've got a stacked Survivor cast to celebrate all of the returners coming back. So exciting, so fun. Let's get into it, right? So what's this dynamic like with all returners cast? Like, this has never been done in Survivor, in like Syracuse Survivor history.
all returners is definitely like it's all about those pre-existing relationships. It is. We heard it throughout the episode so much. Everyone refer to who knows what from, or who knows who from their past season, or who's friends with who outside the game. You had the RAs, you had season breakup discussions, you had friend groups that formed from Survivor with Maroon 5 in season 2. So like it was all about who had friends on their tribe already and who had friends on the other side already. And what does that mean for them?
Oh, yeah. From my perspective, I know like us and the board created the cast, but just seeing everyone that has played in literally a year and a half of this game being live and like seeing all 20, like pretty much all stars, they all have different games, all have different fans out there. It was just surreal. But as to Mike's point, like relationships ruled at least this first vote. And it's like wild that people are saying, "Oh, I watched Jack play in season 2, and I'm scared. I watched Austin win season 2, and he's such a great guy." So it's like there's a lot of elements to an all returning season. I'm just excited to see it play out.
I'd agree. And I think it's been fun to see how Survivor has evolved from the first season. Because I know being on the cast in the first season, I got dinged a lot for having like pre-existing relationships and knowing people outside the cast. And that's like a very similar dynamic that's going on, but it's much more recognized because it's more people expect you to have pre-existing relationships in an all returning season.
For sure.
Yeah. Lots of crazy stuff could happen in an all returner season. So I guess then, like, how are we reacting to this cast? How are we reacting to this specific set of returnees?
It's an amazing cast.
Oh, it's stacked. Right? I love this cast.
It is a stacked cast. I mean, you got our king, Jason Ding, showing up 30 minutes late to the first challenge.
It was at 2:30. Actually, it was 11 a.m. We were all there, but
I remember that day. I was like, "Where the hell is this kid?" And Joe Sacamano had to drive to like Booth to pick him up. It's so funny. No, but this cast is insane. I mean, I'm pretty sure we had like the placement wise, we had a first boot, a second boot. I don't know if we had a third boot. We had like different placements. We had winners. We had final tribal counties. We had all of that. So it's like different areas of game pretty much that everyone played in.
It's a very mixed bag of placements.
Yeah, I was going through it before and I was counting my head and I realized a quarter of this cast was never voted out of the game. We had 2 winners, I think 2 other people who were in final tribal, and then someone who got rocked out. So 5 out of 20 of these players haven't actually been voted out before. So it's like that's fun. There's a lot to work with there.
Poor Carl.
Our robbed king, but he's back.
Away with words.
Yeah. No, it's actually an insane cast that has come back. So it's going to be great to see. Huh?
Nissan's here.
The true superstar.
Love it. But yeah, so I guess we see who came back, but as we're seeing the season like pick up, as we're seeing these people interact, is there anyone that didn't come back that you would have liked to see?
I would have liked to see Addie. I don't think Addie wanted to be on, but I would have loved to see her on. I think it would have been really cool to see, or really fun, really dramatic to see the interaction between her and the other Maroon 5 people, and Austin, who beat her, and Derek, who she took out. Like, it would have been there was a lot of season 2 people there that kind of didn't revolve around her, but were involved with her some way in the game. So it would have been cool because there would have been a lot of connections there and a lot of webs to navigate.
Yeah. I think it would have been cool, speaking of Nassan, to see Nassan. I feel like his game got cut short in a way that we would have loved to have him back. He just graduated. Similar mindset to Geneva. I mean, one of the best players that's ever played Survivor Syracuse, let alone a Survivor College. Just seeing her game in season 2, she was like, she needed to be brought back. It just didn't happen because she graduated as well. I think another person I wanted to see was Ava, another winner. It would have been cool if we get 3 winners, but at the same time, like, it would have been cool to see how her game played out, and even more season 1 people into the cast. But
yeah, it's a bummer that people like Valentina and Julia graduated too.
True.
We lost a lot of people.
Graduation's not on our side, guys. Really unfortunate.
Honestly, really could have had Sean DePaz back for a third.
Hey, you never know. You know, the season's still young.
Wait until the tribe swap. Just wait.
That's when Sean DePaz gets in the game.
You never know when Sean DePaz might enter the game.
Always got to keep your eyes out. Oh man. All right. So you know what? Let's get into the thick of the challenge. Why don't we? We've got a big bang to start this season off. We've got. Oh, thank you, Madison. I have candles lit right now. So we've got a scavenger hunt to start off this season. These players have got to go everywhere to get what they need to get. Like, they're sprawled all over campus. We're bringing back that season 3 energy with the Amazing Race, except we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot here. So what do you guys think with starting off with such a big chaotic challenge for such a big chaotic season?
It was really fun to watch. I liked Carl's vlog where he made a reference to running in the first challenge. It was a good challenge overall. Fun to watch.
Very fun to watch. Love Derek's vertical vlogs. Derek as a person in general is just funny during challenges. And also, like, a thing that we kind of surpass is, like, kind of the divisions of how the people kind of separated, like the easy cards, medium cards. I mean, we have the Jason, Eli, Mitch trio, I guess, develop from the challenge itself. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
And it was interesting with the Jason, Eli, Mitch trio. They ended up coming across that bonus clue advantage that came out of they were just near the right place at the right time together, and that's something that just bonds them together automatically. They all know about it. They all found it together. Eli had possession of it, but they all knew. So it's something that does bring them together. The challenge, as a producer, I love to make these contestants run. I love seeing them go everywhere and using all of their breath and all of their legs. So it was a delight to watch.
And I think it was a good mixture of, like, physical as well as, like, communication, because you barely talk to these people. Now you have to, like, communicate what items you need if someone's getting another item for you. So it's cool.
And clearly communication had some sort of effect on the challenge. We saw with the villains, there was a communication issue between Madison and her items and the other people. Some villains had opinions on that.
The editing was done really nicely on that, because Madison, like, mentioned earlier in it that she thought someone else was getting it, and then here comes the challenge, and I was like, what is going on? Because she has nothing. Like, how she have 1 out of 3 items? Like, something must have happened behind the scenes that just, like, didn't connect.
Like, I thought, like, I wrote her card wrong because she only came up with 1 item. I was like, can I see her card for a second?
Yeah, it was just so confusing to watch. Be like, what? How does she seriously not have those? I know she at least mentioned someone getting a candle, but obviously it's not there.
That kind of leads us into our next little discussion point. Who did well and who dropped the ball in this challenge? The first challenge, you display what you're capable of. What's going on?
I would just say the heroes, they kind of killed it. They missed a couple early on, but they hit it where it counted. The medium and the hard ones, they started just pulling away once villains slipped up a couple times, let them catch back up, and then they just kind of ran with it for the rest of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that says a lot about the heroes too, that they're like, I feel like, I don't know who said it in the episode, but like
It was Holly.
everyone's
I was just thinking the same thing.
Like everyone's like nice and really good at communicating and really good at talking. So it's like something that they're good at. So
yeah, makes sense for a hero trait.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in the midst of all of this chaos, we see a text from Luke that there's some sort of advantage out there. Just a whole other element to drive these people crazy. So as we saw and as we've talked about a little bit, Eli, Mitch, and Jason found it. And they were reading it in the car, all of that stuff. This hero's villain's advantage. What does this mean for these players? What does this mean for them?
Oh yeah. And just to like reiterate the advantage I guess they found, it was kind of like a bounty where Eli and I guess in proxy Mitch and Jason decide like who to agent on the other side, whether to save someone else or to take out someone else by final 15.
You're gonna play as a hero or you're gonna play as a villain. Exactly. As they said, high risk, high reward. What are you gonna do?
I loved that sum up of like the heroes was low risk, low reward, or high risk, high reward for the villain.
Mm-hmm.
That was an editor's dream right there. You just summed it up.
Sucker for a good editing. Lives for it.
Very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I think it's an interesting advantage. I think it really played interesting in this vote in particular because Lydia was like on the chopping block, or at least she was one of the names, but there was still that like Madison's the one who was the agent. She still wanted to like she didn't want to let up this opportunity to pass on Kevin, but Jack had a point, like what if we go on a winning streak and the next thing you know it's final 15 and then boom, you don't have 2 votes. So it's like I saw the tug and pull for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I actually am in the Niebers.
He's on the farm in New Jersey right now.
Come upstairs, join me. We'll discuss all together. We can discuss how what were we just talking about? I got distracted. I don't know.
The
advantage. I think it does. It totally gives. What Madison gets lucky for receiving it, even though there's a risk reward to it. I think she got lucky that even though it was Lydia it's someone she wants to work with. She had a really close relationship in season 3. She definitely would have rather have been Kevin there. That would have just made her life so much easier. But having it be Lydia, it kind of forces those pre-existing relationships that we were talking about earlier to be tested, or to be just to be tested. Like they're either strengthened or they're proven to not really have an effect within this new game. And I think the advantage really helps Eli the most because it allows him to create his own agency in the game and shape stuff on the other tribe that to favor himself. So going into a swap, going into a merge, even though it's only the first episode, he's still setting himself up, hopefully, so that he's in a better position later down the line.
Wow.
Yeah.
Spoken like a true brain. Wow, look at that.
Also, I agree with Jake's point that Lydia probably had a high chance of going without the advantage simply just because of she had that winner mark. And that's something we'll probably get to later about how heroes handle the winner versus how villains handle the winner. But she had that target from the start.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So
something about being a villain that was on the Mind Tribe just puts a target on your back.
Yeah, you've got the mind, you've got the schemes. Like, what are you gonna do?
A lot of Mind Tribe players in this season. Let me tell you.
Yeah, for real. We've got 50% Mind Tribe right here.
I
don't know.
I don't know what we're talking about.
I guess. I don't know. But yeah, no, definitely seeing the way that villains interpret the winner compared to heroes, which, we haven't seen because we just saw villains go to tribal, but like watching the villains vote out the winner, what does this mean for the winner on the heroes tribe? Austin, what does that mean for him?
I think it's a reality shock. Yeah, you could say like a winner is an easy vote, but I remember Austin talking about like I'm a shield, use me, like yada yada yada. But it's definitely like okay, if I was Austin in this situation, I'd be like, okay, I have no other winner out here. I have to up my social game and make sure people are okay with me being in this game. So it's tough.
Mhm.
But if anyone can do it, Austin can.
Wow. Only time will tell, but it's hard to play as a winner. I know I would personally gun for any winner that I was playing with. It's like they snuck through the first time to win. Who's to say they won't do it again if you give them any sort of leeway?
I agree. You always want to go for the winner. Paul said it. Like, what are we doing if we don't get the winner out first? And that's exactly what they did. But I think Austin, on the heroes side, I think he was in a much better spot. All we hear about Austin is mostly positive things from the heroes. We hear Cat's like Austin's a great guy and he's grown so much, I feel like, since I saw him on season 2. And like he's this loud, outspoken, funny person. He seems so much quieter on the season. And it's like you hear people saying good things about him. Derek isn't like, oh, he knows how I play, I want to get him out. He's like, he's a branch for me to reach out to. I think Austin, he could be in worse off spots. I think if he was on the villain's side, he would have been in a much worse off spot.
Oh yeah, and I think that also speaks to like the villain versus hero mindset too, in a way.
Yeah, I would say from a villain mindset, more the like stereotypical thing would be like to bring a goat to the end versus a hero wants to like play with the best people no matter what. So it might be a little bit easier for Austin being on the heroes.
Yeah, definitely. And since he didn't have to go to tribal the first time, like he has like that time to be able to like build those relationships, which Lydia didn't have like so much of a chance to. So like, yeah, I mean, Survivor's a crazy game. What can I say? But speaking of the heroes, we see an idol be found by Holly. I know everyone in season 3 thought the entire time that she had an idol. And that was not the case, but now she does. What's up with that? What's going on? We have an idol find that first episode. Like, our people obviously were looking. People are getting sus. I feel like that's the most popular word of the episode. Everyone's sus here, but
well, Thorne's the DPS officer for blowing where I hit that idol right outside my room. That was foul.
But I don't really know the true timing of it, but it's actually crazy that like Austin and Holly and Cassidy all met at some point during that search.
So. Oh, I watched it all happen because my room was right over where it was, and I had recorded it, and I meant to like have that footage for the episode, and I lost it, so I don't know where that is. But it was, I saw them all like coming into that courtyard area, and I was like, ooh, this is exciting.
Hey, asking the DPS officers, just using your resources, like power to them.
Survivors are resourceful. What can you say? It's a resourceful game, so.
Right, hey. It's a social game, you know.
It's a social game.
You gotta be social to think of that.
True.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people like the Syracuse DPS office.
No.
I'll say that much.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. So I'm sure with an idol find and of course with an idol clue out, people are going to be speculating that someone's searching for it, like someone may have it. I don't know. So since Holly has it, I don't know. We don't know if anyone's speculating if Holly has it now, but of course we see that Holly and Cass are a pair. So how would people like look at that pairing in that aspect if that pair were to have an idol?
It's interesting because I mean the entire episode, at least from the hero side, we saw a lot of talk about how Holly, Cass, they're a pair. Like Eli was talking about how he doesn't trust Holly fully, has to keep space in between them. Everyone knows kind of the RA kind of alliance with Paul and Kevin on the other side. So there's a lot in flux there. And throwing an idol into that, I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I just want to put my candles out.
Definitely the person that needed the idol on the hero side, I would say, found it, which is always interesting. That's always fun for viewers and producers alike. Everyone had Holly's name in their mouth. Like, everyone's scared of her. Everyone knows her and Cass are super tight. It's like they're just blocked in together already, and it's like they are a 2-for-1, and like no one's gonna see them as anything other than that. So having that idol kind of helps them. It will help them if they are being targeted the first time the heroes end up going to a tribal. It can make or break for them.
Yeah, duos are always dangerous, and for them to have an idol definitely helps and changes the dynamic of that from like maybe we can't target the duo because they'd be able to save them on a flip of the dime because it makes that harder to split the vote and get it right, but don't know where the idol will go.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with that. But yeah, I mean, they've got an idol, they've got connections on the other side. Of course, this whole looming RA alliance thing, Holly, Cass, Paul, and Kevin. So let's segue into villains.
Who would ever worry about an RA alliance? That seems so.
What? About that?
I don't even know what an RA is. But yeah, so connections, of course, are a huge thing in this game, especially with heroes versus villains, an entire returning cast. And we've got this huge RA conglomerate that is over everyone's head. So looking at the villain side now, like we already see that kind of affecting people's views, especially of Kevin. He talked about it a little bit. So now, like, how are villains going to deal with this? So, like, how are they going to deal with this huge, like, threat of an alliance knocking at their door?
It's tough. I mean, there's a lot like we said before, like relationships play a huge role, especially in the early game, because you don't have much to go off of other than their season, what they watched, and like hearing through the grapevine of like who's friends with who. Like people were talking about how Jack and Abby were close just because of their season and they played together. Paul and Jake, even though Jake voted out Paul in season 1. So it's like it's tough. And like that was a part of the reason why Kevin was on the block, because he does have a lot of connections, and Paul, and I don't know. It's a lot to play, a lot of things to think about, I guess.
For sure.
I think with College Survivor too, when you're friends outside of the game all the time, that can be really intimidating to a lot of people because you're not being pulled out of your environment at all. You're just playing in the same environment you've always been playing in. So people are still, if they're friends outside the game, they're still hanging out regularly besides the game. They're bonding like just all the time. So it's scary to have a group of like a set group of 4 that has 2 on both sides of the game being involved with each other and having a possibility of them controlling a vote. I think it's definitely smart to target them, but it's also everyone else can have that too, and you just might not know. We know there's 3 million files. Like,
sorry, I think it's all about how this like RA group of 4 chooses to like shape their own narrative, because everyone sees it as like a pre-existing relationship, but it's just the most obvious pre-existing relationship. If they're able to bring up like other things about how people know them, then so it's not as big of an issue. It's just the most obvious pre-existing relationship that's on the table, but people know each other outside of that, and there's a lot of other groups that are forming.
True.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So I guess what are some of like the more low-key relationships that aren't as out there, like this RA alliance?
is it like Gabby and Paul?
Paul.
Are they as obvious yet? Because they're
Not
super
really.
close, and I'm not sure how obvious it is to the rest of the class or cast
Yeah.
that they're like this.
Gabby
Yeah, they
told us,
certainly
I believe.
talked about it.
Gabby said no one knows their besties yet, so she's getting all his info and he's getting all her info.
Yeah.
True.
That'll be interesting.
Also, I don't know if a lot of people know the DKA alliance with Owen, Jake, and Paul. That connection.
Yeah.
And then probably our biggest relationship of the episode, Jack and Madison. Like,
True.
Madison shared that advantage with him and only him right away. And he said that's my Erica for the season. Like, she's my number one. I'm sticking with her. I have Abby. I have Hannah. They're still not my number one. Madison's my number one. So
True.
that's one that people don't know about, but it's like it's clearly super apparent.
Or even a bigger relationship, Joe Sacamano and Jason Diggs. Is it coincidence that Jason Diggs' group is the group that found Joe? No, I'm kidding. After Joe Sacamano picked him up, I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? The J names. Am I right?
Those damn J names.
A lot of J icons in Survivor Syracuse lore for sure.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
Joe Cologne. Shout out Joe Cologne.
Yeah.
Can't forget about that, Joe.
It is a J sound, but it's a G, so we're
almost there. Almost there.
Thought.
Yeah.
Icons all around.
Oh, yeah. So many icons to count. So many. But anyway, we also have seen a lot of feuds this episode. We've got a little Lydia versus Gabby deal going on, a little Gabby versus Madison. There's still a lot of beef. And of course, we see a lot of season 3 beef. It seems that, with that season just ending, a lot of it's still kind of fresh. I don't know what's going on, but like, what's tea? Why is it coming up so full with fire so soon?
Are you kidding? Are you surprised? This cast is full of big personalities. Like, no one's gonna go quietly into the night. Everyone is big drama or like at least big gameplay and using things to their advantage. Like with this big personality of cast, I am not surprised that the drama is coming this fast already.
Drama's here.
It's hard to neglect the fact that like their season ended like a month ago. So like this is the first time back on campus. Like you're still gonna have those battle wounds, and you're still gonna like think about them when you see these players out there. So, but shout out to the editing, Sabrina and their editing team. When the Gabby and Lydia back and forth, that was amazing. That was great. Fun to watch.
I think that was one of my most proud moments.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just here for the drama. I love all of it.
It's so entertaining.
Bring more of it.
Oh yeah.
Mike wishes he had more drama in season 3.
Yeah, everyone was holding in all that drama. Now it's just out there. Absolutely out there.
I feel like because of the way season 3 was filmed, it was different than the previous 2 seasons. The drama just held over in a new way, because it's not like you were walking around campus seeing people as much as the first 2 seasons where you like had to kind of get over your drama. Like season 3, they were just airing it right there on the show. They just showed up and they were like, oh, okay, I got some grudges I'm definitely holding still. Didn't have the time or situations to get over it.
Yeah. Survivor's a fantastic social experiment. I mean, what can I say? Yeah, it's crazy out here. And like with all this drama, we already see this like whole season 2 versus season 3, these antics. Like it's so quick. Obviously, we see that there's like a good amount of season 3 people right off the bat. Like 5 of them on the Villains Tribe are season 3, so automatically that's just like a catalyst where they could all just butt heads. So how does that affect this villain's tribe and this tribal specifically.
True. It's also a catalyst that they could just be like, okay, all we need is one more person and then we're good. But I guess they just didn't want to do it that way. Like, let bygones be bygones. It's a new game, fresh game. But no one really had that intention other than maybe Lydia. So, I don't know.
All plays into those pre-existing relationships. Like, they all could have banked on that one, but they chose not to. So it was an interesting choice, but worked out for most of them.
I mean, you can look at it from the season 3 perspective and be like, they're the big group of 5. They stick out like that, but who does it really help in season 3 if they do stay together? And it would have helped Lydia because those were her votes to stay. She had one vote to stay, and that was from herself. Those were her season 3 people were the 5 votes she needed to be able to stay, to just get a tie. But it didn't for Kevin. I mean, it might have helped Kevin too. Kevin, we see, got his name thrown out a lot. But Madison has a lot of people from season 2 and season 1 wanting to work with her. I think Gabby has more relationships outside of season 3 because she barely played in season 3 and doesn't really care about the season 3 people. So it's like, who does it help more if season 3 does band together? Does it even help the people in season 3? So is there a point to it?
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
And Jake brings up a good point. I mean, he says he had an agreement with the season 2 guys that season 1 and season 2 should work together for a vote. So it still has an effect that they are like the biggest conglomerate season 3. But
biggest target to shoot at.
Yeah. For real. And shoot, they did. They absolutely did. And of course, with a little bit of motivation, Madison gets this bounty right off the bat. Like, not even a second to chill. They go into tribal automatically. She gets this like sheet of paper. It's telling her she's got to vote this person out. There was a lot of conflict going on with that because we saw that Madison didn't want to quite get rid of Lydia, like right there. But now there's this advantage saying you have to do this or you're going to lose a vote. Like, how do you deal with that?
I think it's like she's kind of put, like, Eli puts her in that rock and hard place where you have your really close ally, but your hand is being forced. And I think that was a good play on Eli's part to target a relationship that did exist already that he had no knowledge of because season 3 hadn't aired. And those were the 2 finalists of season 3 that were back in. So you don't want them together because you're assuming, hey, they can play the game pretty well. So I think for Madison, of course, the right move, you get an advantage and you don't lose 2 votes. Take out Lydia. She's made new allies already. Jack was right when saying don't wait the week to use Kevin out, because what if they do win in the future? So it's like you got to take her out when you can.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
high risk, high reward.
Lydia's a beast of a player. You got to take her out early.
Yeah.
She's too good.
Just like Paul said, you'd be dumb if you didn't.
Absolutely. It was just crazy watching like how all of this just came together and like all of this chaos. I mean, also like Abby said, I feel like everyone was also starting to kind of come to like that consensus and like seeing how strong of a player Lydia is right off the bat. So I guess if you guys were in like the villain's shoes, would you kind of be thinking the same way as that?
Yeah, it's tough because like you're all returnees. No one wants to rock the boat. No one wants to be that driving force to be like, okay, let's get this person out. Let's call the shots. Let's get this over with. So, yeah, if I was in the season, I would just go with the flow, see where people are leaning towards, not stick your neck out there too much and like chill because, there's still 18 other people to go home. So I don't want to start causing fireworks right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play a little devil's advocate to exactly the opposite of what I've been saying. Obviously, I have a pre-existing relationship with Lydia, so I might push against the grain a little bit to try and keep her, but all depends on where the tribe is going and if they're mendable to have their opinions changed.
Yeah.
I think also for Madison too, I think it was Hannah earlier in the live chat saying that Lydia was throwing out so many names that week. So it's like, do you have like something giving you a reason to target her? Do you really want to keep yourself associated with someone who's just flinging out names left and right? Like,
yeah. Personally, as someone who was allied with Lydia throughout season 3, I guess if I were on villains and was in this situation,
Sab would definitely be a villain.
You think I'd be a villain?
What?
Why would I
No,
be a
I'm just
villain?
kidding.
That's a
that was
hot
100% a
take.
joke. That was 100% a joke.
No, okay. I mean,
Unless
I don't
you
know.
want to be a villain, do you want?
I don't care. I feel like I could go either way. I don't know.
Oh no, I
That
feel
sentence
that.
alone
We're
means
never
you could
gonna
never
know.
be a villain, Sab. I'm sorry to talk over you there,
Okay.
but
Okay, fine.
Sab would have her own tribe. Neutral.
okay, sorry, please continue, Sab.
Oh no, you're fine. I don't know. I feel like because like coming fresh off of season 3 and all of that, I think I'd probably be a little bit like I'd be inclined to keep Lydia as a shield at least for like maybe a week, since I have that pre-existing relationship. But like I think it's like you definitely like if like this week, if she were to stay, the fall like if we were to go to tribal again, then it'd be like, okay, we gotta go. But
I'm gonna pull back to what I say earlier and say that Sab feels this way because she's a hero.
Aww,
Heroes love to keep the shields.
True.
Yeah, so much of a hero that I dropped the shovel and had trust in my allies, but it's okay. But yeah. But you know what? We're talking so much about Lydia. I think it's only fitting that we bring her in. So I don't know. There we go.
Lydia!
Hello, Lydia.
Hello.
Is she in a dorm room staircase or something?
What is this background, Lydia?
It's my kitchen.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You know what? I'm just going to go.
Right.
What?
Okay, I
I'm
Luke knows the tricks too well of this video, sir, as he can just leave and come back that fast. It would take me like 5 minutes to find my way.
I have all the power.
For sure. Thank you, Luke, for running the StreamYard. Yes. Welcome, Lydia. I'm so happy to have you on a post show when you did not have a post show for season 3. First of all, congratulations on winning. Congrats. Very much congrats. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay. So coming into an all returner season as a winner, how did you feel like seeing everyone? Like, what's tea?
I was really excited to see all returners because I thought, well, I hoped it would mean there'd be more people who like understood the game in a similar way to me, if that makes sense. Because I very much like, obviously, like I couldn't be totally objective, but I thought it made more sense for a lot of the people to keep me. So I was excited to see returners, and there were people who I really wanted to play with just because it's fun and I liked the way they played. So I just thought it'd be really engaging.
Yeah. For sure. And like being thrown into the first tribal of the season again, not fun. Little Mind Tribe flashbacks. Now we've got 60% Mind Tribe here, just to reiterate the stats. So having to go to that first tribal as a winner, like that's not fun. What were your thoughts?
I mean, it felt really bad. I was so pissed at Madison. Because like whatever the tea is now, like at the time, it like really felt like she specifically had like fumbled the bag on the challenge. And like doing the math, I think we would have lost regardless. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like at that point in time, it was kind of someone to blame. But it felt bad in general, I think, especially because it was like a flashback, and I feel like I had so little time compared to so many other people to like debrief on the season. I was just already playing at such a like fast, intense speed when I stopped that it was really difficult to go back to having to get to know everybody again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, first tribals are the worst. I also went to 2 of them. How about you, Mike? What was your?
I went to one, but that one was still, it was a stressful one.
Well, I did the worst overall, but I can say I survived at least both of my 2. Yeah.
Nice.
Love that shout out.
Cool. Slide that in there.
Lovely.
So I have a question for Lydia, if you don't mind, Sab.
Oh yeah,
So,
go ahead, please.
I guess walking in the first challenge, who is someone that you're excited to see, and who is someone that you wished you saw?
I was so excited to see Jake. I wanted to play with Jake so bad. Because I really appreciated like in season 1, like the way Jake played and the way Jake thought. And Jake was famously a Lydia stan during all of season 3. Found out he was part of what I like deemed my fan club while the filming was going on. So I was super excited to play with Jake. As far as people I wished I saw, Molly, of course, would have loved to see Molly or Sabrina playing again. But I was like mostly happy with everybody who was there.
Yeah. It's pretty stacked. Oh man, what else? Well, I guess I was gonna ask you what your favorite relationship that you made on Villains, like during your time there was, but after saying how excited you were to play with Jake, I don't know. Would you like to elaborate / add more relationships?
I was gonna say I didn't have that long to really become friends with people until I would say like slowly throughout the season, like as people got voted out from like wherever, whatever side, who knows, I like did become friends with people that way, but I don't want to like mention anybody specific from the Villains tribe just because I don't want anyone to get any ideas.
Can I just make a comment about that thing of Jake? We popped up because I thought it was really funny as an outside player that I was friends with both Jake and Lydia. And so Jake like would give me all the tea, and then suddenly it was like radio silent for 3 days. Like he didn't want to talk about Survivor. And then there was like it was like moments after he texted and he was like, Molly, I just voted out your friend. I feel so bad. Like I really wanted to play with her. I really did, but like it had to happen. And I was like, oh no. And then in came the FaceTime from Lydia. And I was just like not in the game at all. But in that moment, I felt like I was in the game. It was great. But very sad, unfortunately.
Truly devastating. Absolutely devastating. What's even more devastating, now you watch the premiere and you see that, oh, there she is. Okay. You see that your name was literally on a bounty that first week. And like seeing that, how does that make you like what is that?
I did find out about that like before this episode comes out, but it makes me upset all over again. And since the season I have like given every single person who was involved with that like a lot of like crap about the whole thing. Maybe not every single person, maybe not as much like crap to production as I should have given. It feels bad. Definitely OP'd. I still think it was like lazy for like Eli to pick me. I think it was lazy of like Jack to be like, yeah, let's do it. I think it was because if I was Jack, what I would have done is said, oh, well, we'll get rid of Madison. No one loses their votes and there's no advantage. That's what I would have done. But
that's interesting.
That is interesting. I haven't even thought about that.
That is a big flip-flop. I like it.
That would be, yeah, a huge flip-flop, actually.
If I have a question. If you were in Eli's position, Lydia, who would you have targeted on the villains tribe instead of yourself?
If I was in Eli's position,
Yeah, and you had to bribe someone.
like someone on the villains tribe to give it to and target, I'm not really sure. Probably, I don't know who would have been like better for Eli. For myself personally, I wanted someone who hadn't been in the game very long to get voted out. So like ideally, I would have like had Abby or Gabby voted out.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do the flip? And so if you had found it, Lydia, who would you have given it to?
I probably would have given the advantage part to Carl. And then, it would have anyone who I thought was going to be kind of easy to get out. Maybe Jason, because as much as I like Jason, famously, I don't think that would have been like, based on what I'd seen of Jason from season 3 and what I knew about him, I didn't think it would be like the most difficult thing to vote him out. But I would have definitely picked someone that wouldn't, like, I wouldn't have picked Austin just in not wanting to set the precedent of voting like big threats out.
Fair. Super fair.
Very fair.
Yeah. Interesting. It's always interesting to think about these what ifs. But yeah, I mean, it was a crazy advantage, like super chaotic way to start the game off. And I'm very sorry that you fell victim to it. But you know what? Survivor's a crazy game. But are there any like last thoughts that you had like about the season, like while you were there?
I would say my last, or like one of my thoughts that I had at the time, and like even watching it back, I kind of still have, is I really felt, and like I'm fine, like I don't have any, at least I don't think I have any like beef with anybody now about the whole thing. I wasn't like angry, I was just like disappointed and confused as to why so many people thought it was like a good move for them long term, because I really didn't think it was. But I really felt that like a lot of people, despite the advantage, whatever, didn't really give me the opportunity to like even try and get to know me. They were just like instantly afraid of me, or like took the way I was talking to them negatively, when I felt there were other people on my tribe who were maybe talking the same way or had maybe similar reputations to me, but like didn't get the same heat for it. Like I feel like people thought I was suspicious because I was like telling everybody what they wanted to hear, or like saying this about this person and this about this person. And I think a lot of people took the things I said and like twisted it. I feel like in one of my vlogs, they even said like I saw screenshots of people putting words in my mouth that I never said. And there were like, I'm not gonna say any names, but I do feel like there were other people on my tribe who were doing the same things as me, and for whatever reason didn't get attacked for it, and people like let them, whereas I was like called a snake and like shady and whatever for it.
Yeah. Survivor is a crazy game.
It's rough being held to a different standard when you're the winner. Like the things that you do are held to a completely different standard when someone else does the exact same thing, because you are the queen. You have that title to bring home. You brought it home once already. Mm-hmm. So sad that you didn't bring it home a second time. I was rooting for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They were all intimidated. I mean, what could I say? I mean, you're a great player. Obviously, you know how to win the game. So, like, again, congratulations to that. Super great, like, super hard thing to do, and you did it. And you know what? You came back.
You're the only one here that did it. We give you props.
Yeah. Absolutely. All the props.
We have a chat question from Jake Niebuhr.
Oh.
Lydia, what did you do with those $100 that you won?
So this total comes out to way more than 100. I bought a pair of shoes. I did buy a pair of shoes, and I would have bought them anyways, but I like justified it with like, oh well, I just won money. And we also famously had a Friendsgiving that like Kevin mentioned not wanting to go to. So I did like justify some of the money I spent on like that as like Survivor money.
Oh,
I didn't know Friendsgiving cost you so much out of pocket.
Not
Yeah.
What? I offered way more food, Lydia. You didn't let me bring food.
It's the Virgo like type A. I wanted to do it all anyways, but like the money I was spending on it, I was like, it's like the money I won.
So please put Kevin's comment in.
I don't have that power. That's yeah.
And I want to add, Kevin didn't come to the Friendsgiving. In case anybody was wondering, he did not come.
No, Kevin was exposed. Remember? I was also.
I remember it being really chaotic because everyone that could go could, and then Sabrina was in lockdown.
Sabrina was in lockdown, and Kevin did not come because a friend exposed or something like that. But then after watching season 3, I was like, was Kevin's friend really exposed, or did he just not want to hang out with us?
I'd like to know, because right now Kevin said both. It started with I was just bitter, and now he's claiming that I was exposed. What is the truth, Kevin?
He's a villain. You never trust him.
Through and through.
Hey, it happens. It happens. Oh, sorry, my jaw just like cracked. I don't know.
I think I just like cracked my knuckle reflectively too at the same time, so it might have been
Everything's like
loud.
I don't know. I feel crazy.
Carl's fake for not showing up in the chat at all. Come on, we could have had a full mind like
for real. Oh wait, Carl's like I think he's being Spider-Man or something. I don't know.
Classic.
That's what I thought he said. But
during the premiere and post show?
I know. It's
he didn't schedule his entire week around this post show. That's pretty fake.
I can see him in a Spider-Man fit though. I low-key can.
You know, he has the Captain America mask, same universe.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Fair enough, honestly. I mean, I really want to see the Spider-Man movie. I feel like I need to see the other ones though.
I feel
I've seen all of Tom Holland ones.
I have not watched it yet.
Yeah.
Carl's mask thoughts. The Niebers, the Nieber parents hated the mask.
Why?
Really?
I like the different masks that showed up throughout the episode, but I do admit I like when people have the like actual Survivor one throughout the show. I think it's a nice touch. True. Reminds you what you're watching at the time.
If you forgot.
The Captain America mask was symbolic for him. It was kind of like, hey, he's a hero.
In a way.
That's true. Do you see?
He manifested that energy for
him. His mask at all once the theme was revealed? Was he like, wait a minute, I got this wrong on hand?
We actually planted Carl as the winner early, and we gave him a mask of a superhero early, so everyone could know that he is the winner.
The secret. Insider clue. Someone had insider knowledge. I don't know who gave it to him, but someone obviously had the insider knowledge.
Who's to say? Who is to say? I don't know. Unless Carl's just magic. Who knows?
Could be. I wouldn't be surprised.
Could be. Yeah.
Never's been voted out. Let's see how far he makes it. Can he do round 2?
Yeah. Yeah. Carl's finally got a time for redemption. Let's see. I don't know. Anything else, guys? Anything else? Any other burning questions for Lydia? Going once? Going twice?
Would Sabrina have beaten you in the final 3?
Whoa.
Deep cut.
I think it depends on who you ask. And I also think my final tribal speech would have been very different if Sabrina was there instead of somebody else. So I think it would have been, I think it could have gone either way, but I think it would have been much closer than it was.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I really
I'll
want to
take
call
it.
BS on that because I got all of Lydia's stressed out FaceTimes before the vote. Where she was like, I need someone to talk to. And I heard all of Lydia's pros and cons lists.
Here's a question from the chat. Who would you have worked with if you were put on Heroes?
Obviously Carl. I love playing with Carl, even though like we debriefed about season 3 enough that I know he like would have come at me, probably would just love to vote me out so he could be like, I'm better than you, haha. But Carl and I play really well together, so definitely Carl. I wanted to play with Eli really bad. Eli was like probably my favorite player from season 2 after watching it. And now I'm interestingly good friends with Mitch. So after getting to know Mitch, I think Mitch and I would have played really well together.
All right, if I can get a question in. Lydia, would you have done anything different after you've been able to like see the episode?
Maybe I would have been even more intentional about, I think instead of trying to feel everybody out as much, I would have just been more straightforward with fewer people. Because there were like I was like trying to figure out who wanted to work with me, and no one really wanted to. Like Owen and Madison actually kind of did, but there was only so much they could do with that. But like what I really wanted was for me, and I wanted to work with Jake and Paul and then maybe Kevin or someone else. And when I told Paul that, he didn't believe me. Paul thought I was just telling him what he wanted to hear, because I wasn't telling Gabby the same thing I was telling Paul, because I didn't want to work with Gabby. I wanted to work with Paul. So he didn't believe me. So I would probably just not talk strategy with Gabby at all, maybe.
Okay, I also got burned by Paul. Been there.
He was still recovering from his accident.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Such a I feel like this is gonna be a great season.
You're a legend, Lydia.
And Maul. Absolute legend.
I couldn't have said it better. This cast is so gassed.
It's so good.
So gassed.
So good.
That's a new adjective.
Lydia, sorry if you don't want to hear this, but like I feel like that has to say something about this season if like you're the first boot. Like you are just so memorable. It's about to be great.
Absolutely. Lydia, thank you so much for coming to talk to us. You are an icon no matter what season you're on. And yeah, no, you're a great player, and I know you know it, and which as you should. One of the best. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Sorry. I don't have any controls.
Another fun fact, we had a little what was that, Sab, where it was we played Survivor at Lydia's house, and she was also the first boot that night.
She was the first boot that night. We played the Survivor board game. And me and Molly were famously in the final 2, where Molly beat me.
I finally won something, guys.
Yes, Molly.
I'm pretty sure it
won.
was pity that everyone was like, yeah, we'll let her win. She never made it the merge like the rest of us. It's fine.
How many people played?
It was
just me,
3 people.
Sab, Carl, Kevin, Lydia.
Final 5.
Mm-hmm.
The final Mind Tribe 5.
Love that. I actually have a question for the peeps here. Was there any is there any way that you would have chose hero out of that advantage? Even though it was a minor advantage, it could still be used as like a social chip. in a way. Like you're saving someone, and you're also like telling someone to save someone.
Nah.
I think it's too risky. Like having played on the first season where there's like the poisoned idol making someone on the tribe safe, I always like hated it from a player's perspective. So I think that'd be a very like almost villainous move to pick the hero's advantage, oddly enough. Because it's just like creating more chaos and being like, oh, I'm going to save this person, but it's really going to like screw everyone else. And it kind of almost puts a target on that saved person's back. So has interesting ramifications if you pick the heroes one.
That's fair.
It might almost be harder. Like I was thinking originally, if I really had an ally on the other tribe and I really wanted to not get them super in a risky situation, but like want to give them something, like the hero would be better. But it almost seems like it's harder to do the hero task because the villain one is just you need 1 week where you strike. The hero one, every time you go, you have to make sure this person does not go. True. And when there's 10 people, that can be easy, but also all someone has to do is just throw out that person's name, and then you defend them too much, and then you're a target now because you're defending someone who someone else wants out way too much.
Yeah. It could have gone so many different directions. I didn't even think about that. I just would have straight up taken someone out on my end.
That's the more easy one to keep track of.
Yeah, exactly. Just less tabs because there are already so many tabs to keep. Like when playing Survivor, like
Plus, it's like your advantages like to yourself. Like you get rid of the other person, you get something good out of it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, hey Mel.
Oh, Mel.
Yeah. I don't know. So many things could have happened, but you know.
Yeah. So many, like, that's Survivor. That's little Survivor. Thing.
Yeah.
The littlest things. Yeah.
Who knows?
You never know.
Who knows if that even had an impact on if Lydia would have gone home? No one knows because it's a very
true.
We may never know.
Game. Like no one knows.
Who knows
if
could
have been huge? No one can tell.
If that DPS officer wasn't there, if Mike was better at hiding idols, who knows?
Oh man. Yeah, you know what? It's okay. We learn. All right.
Second chances. Second chance for everyone.
Second chances.
Absolutely. All right. I think we're gonna get what?
Third chances. Let's go.
Do we remember? I think Sabrina and Mike were.
I didn't know anything. I don't think I kept up.
The slight advantage? Oh, no, because I definitely know this because we thought it up. We were all on a Zoom call together and we were just sitting there.
It was in
the hero one was
Doc.
Actually, that I can't say that because
you can't say the villain one.
I can't say that. That'll be revealed. The hero one, I want to say it was it like safety without power?
I have no idea.
It's something like that. Was it an extra vote?
Do not look at me.
I don't.
We have the
doc somewhere.
Yeah, we'll dig sometime. I don't know. Now
for the next post show.
Yes,
we promise to deliver that information.
It's actually Sean DePaz
and you have to tune in to the next post show to get the information linked in that one.
You're never gonna find out anywhere else. You have to actually come watch.
That's the gag.
That's the gag. That's the gag.
Also, Paul said the title, right? Or was that
Paul and Gabby? Who said it?
It was a joint effort. What? Yes. I think it was Gabby said it, and then Paul said it louder.
So whoever has them in your drafts, congrats. You got bonus points tonight. You're getting points on Survivor Fantasy League.
True. Absolutely. With a Y.
I know someone out there might have it going on.
Someone's got it going on. Someone has to. This is like one of the biggest events ever. This is one of the biggest events of winter break. Yeah. 'Tis the season.
I know I had it on 2 screens in my house at one point because I was moving around.
Wow.
Hey, that's commitment. That's a 2-time player right there.
It's totally like 2 times.
2 screens. There we go. We've got one last gag for tonight. Just one last gag. A little superlative session. Why don't we? So just to start it off, in this episode, who benefited the most?
I feel like I have to say Madison to some extent because she literally is getting an advantage, benefiting from that for being picked.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. I feel like Madison, stock wise, I guess, if it benefits the most from the vote in general, I feel like Gabby doesn't directly benefit, but she very much indirectly benefits by one, the trend set of taking out threats. Two, it was someone who was directly opposing her, who Lydia was not a fan of Gabby, wasn't going to work with her. So Gabby, while not getting her hands dirty in the slightest by calling a shot, has someone who was against her get voted out and remains very under the radar.
True.
Which in the beginning, it's good. You don't want to call the shot right away. You don't want to be the one that says they're gone, because then people want to get you gone.
Yeah, I would say Madison too, but for a differing answer, maybe Jack, just because like no one really talked shit about Jack as much as we thought people were going to talk shit about Jack because he's Jack and how he played season 2. But like Owen said it in his own vlog, is like, my alliance revolves around Jack, and that's scary. But he's telling me everything I want to hear, so I'm going to trust him. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Madison also, like, along the lines of Jack, because like first of all, well, right off the bat, you see someone on the heroes tribe like giving her this advantage with like good intent, like, and then you see Madison A, being able to fulfill that, B, like having a really close alliance with Jack, like right off the bat, like so much that she shows him the advantage. And Jack, as a player who has all of these connections and is like that center of the alliance, like she's good. Like she's good to go right now. So I would agree with all of that. I think Madison benefited the most this episode.
And Cam for beating out her placement from season 1.
Yes,
can't forget that.
Absolutely.
No more first boot.
Yes.
We love when you can beat your placement. I feel like that's like the ultimate goal when you play. If you do worse the second time.
True. If Gabby makes it past next episode, she will also beat her placement. So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
We already have records being broken this season.
A record breaker.
Historic.
Yeah, historic. Yes, I love all these adjectives, guys. On the flip side, who benefited the least? I don't know.
I would say Kevin's probably in a tough spot. So it's kind of like either Kevin or Lydia. So for Lydia to go home, that like benefited Kevin this week, but kind of puts him in the worst spot overall, like going forward, because that's kind of a tough place to go from, to be like, oh, there's 2 names on the chopping block and pretty clean vote for one of them. Like, what does that mean for him?
Yeah, that's fair.
We're talking boot order wise, Jake, not math order wise. So I'm technically still correct. Worst off, probably Kevin. I don't know. I'm trying to have like a different answer, but I don't know, because Madison's still holding out for them. Like Jack knows that. He was still in the center of a lot of conversations. So he still has that RA alliance looming over him. So we'll see.
I'm gonna try and I'll take a different approach to this. I'm gonna say a hero is in the worst spot because they didn't go to tribal first. And I want to say that person is,
because I would say I agree with you, Mike. It gives you the no man's land.
Yes.
Don't go to tribal at all. So who do you think might think they're a swing vote that's on chopping block?
Austin, just because he is that winner, but we did hear a lot of positive stuff about him. Cassidy, because Holly has possession of the idol, and while they are very good friends, it's hard to give up an idol to play on someone else because you think it's gonna save them. And that is, it would be in character of Holly, heroics, being a hero, all of that. But it is, Cassidy's name is always attached to Holly, and she doesn't have the guaranteed protection that she can play the idol for herself. She has to rely on Holly, and even though they're 100% best friends, trust each other, it's not 100% if it's not in your hand.
True.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, I agree with Mike's assessment. I think that's a good one. And also just the fact that their names are like in everyone's mouth, like already, like nothing's happened. Like that's just, it's a tough spot to be in. But yeah, they have the idol, but it's like, how are you going to use it? It can only save one person.
True.
Wait, these comments are too good.
What's going on? Everyone's still talking math? What's happening?
Because we were talking about placement beating, and Gabby beat her placement because she was 20th out of 21 on season 3, but she now is at least 19th out of 20.
I am talking boot order here. Boot order. But I guess we could go that way too.
This is true, because I felt way more accomplished that I survived at least 2 tribals. Like, I didn't really care that my second tribal council, whether or not I had like beaten my record. I was like, I just want to survive a total tribals. And I did it by 1, guys.
You did it though. Yes.
5 tribals for Molly Lepeska.
That's improvement. That's all we asked for.
Improvement.
Molly, the sadness I had watching you get up from a distance as Ryan Baker took pictures of our reactions. Just
what about Adam Sperling? Go down in the history
Why
books.
did he come back? Wait a minute. When we were talking about returning
he
players,
didn't want
I
to come
would
back.
have loved to see Adam come back. Even though he screwed me over, he was great confessional-wise.
Oh, absolutely. He would have, if he wanted to. He would have been there.
He gave.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Adam Sperling could have come back.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Oh, well. Who knows? Episode 1. We're the gag. Who's the MVP? Who's the gag? Or I guess not the gag, right? I
will step in here to say Joe Sacamano, the filmer. He out of nowhere picked up Jason Ding late, just hauled ass. You got him there on time, and also delivered the advantage. I think that goes unnoticed. I just want to have his time in the
unknown detail he's not getting enough credit for.
So true. The club would fall without Joe Sacamano.
Yeah, I think we should just give him like immunity for the entire season, and then he'll come in final tribal.
I love how no one knows.
Can't be voted out. I don't know.
One day, everyone will know the true identity of Joe Sacamano. But until that day,
till then, he'll just be the guy that got Jason Ding to the challenge, kinda on time.
Oh man,
like that's it.
In Survivor, we'd love an entrance. So honestly, I think it couldn't have gone better.
Was that a strategy though by Jason? Was he really asleep? Who knows?
Or did he just really want to make a fashionable entrance?
Highlight Jake's comment. Excellent gameplay. Food is the way to the heart.
It really is.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's more airtime. Purple edit Joe Sacamano. I love me at the end. Once you get voted off, take an exit confessional with Joe Sacamano. I just slipped that in
the poor soul in the comment who missed his mom's 50th birthday while oversleeping. You really hate to see it, but I guess it happens to the best of us.
It does sometimes.
I missed first period a bunch oversleeping. It's okay. We all have our sleeping moments.
Yeah.
I've been there.
No, I did that so much my senior year. It was ridiculous. But hey, you know what?
Back on the
Also,
MVP talk.
my parents no longer care anymore, so that's the main reason I got my lip tattoo was for oversleeping.
Nice.
This is time I flash it on live TV.
We are live, so yeah.
Does it show up as
Ooh.
mirrored?
Stylish.
When does it
No,
fade?
looks-
Doesn't it fade?
looks-
I was told 5 years, but I've had it for like 2 or 3 years now. It's almost 3 years old at this point. It looks like I got it
Yeah.
yesterday. So
They always
at least
tell
it's
you
here to
that.
stay.
Yeah, and they always last so much longer. I don't have a lip
I was
tat,
told
but I had a
5
stick and
years. I
poke.
know someone that only had hers for like a year and a half of it was gone.
Oh wow. I don't know.
So-
I think your tattoo just wanted to stay.
Mine is just like here to stay.
Yeah. You know what?
Sorry,
That-
mom and
I
dad,
think
if
that's-
you're watching this.
Other
I
MVP,
MVPs.
Molly's lip tat.
What?
MVP, Molly's lip tat.
Oh, yes. I second that.
Didn't
I
make it in
second
the
that.
episode, but my name made it in, so I can still say I've been in every single Survivor premiere to date.
You have been. You
True.
have been.
That's iconic.
Yeah.
Me and Luke both. won.
MVP Derek's vertical vlogging.
LVP
That's a
Derek's
good one,
vertical
that's a
vlogging.
good
LVP.
Oh
Second
my
that,
God.
LVP.
That makes even
Are we
if he
gonna
sends
move into
in
LVP? That seems brutal.
Vertical
even if
vlog.
he sends in a horizontal vlog, make it so it is vertical.
Oh my god.
Oh, don't worry. There are none of those that exist.
Yeah, that doesn't
They are
exist.
all vertical.
Yes.
Every
Yeah.
single one.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
We love it.
A
Yeah.
running
He's a
gag.
veteran. He's done this.
He doesn't have you to teach him during the season.
He needs help, but he's
Dude.
doing his thing and he's killing it.
You know what? The content's there, but you know what? Vertical Derek. That's all I can say. It happens.
It adds to the Derek dad.
Yes, of course. Oh man. Well, I guess next with superlatives. Who had the best confessional? Anything stick out to you guys?
I love Gabby's confessionals personally. I think that she is just a great personality. It's hilarious. Always has me laughing. Like she just will say exactly as it is. I love that she doesn't really care how it's going to come across. It's a classic villain in her.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's why we brought her back, because we knew she had so much content to give, and it was kind of robbed because we were in Zoom for the first 2 challenges, so we never really saw her. So I'm
Mhm.
glad she's getting her limelight.
Yeah. Oh
think-
yeah, we never picked an MVP. Sorry.
We do that after.
Yeah, we'll do that after.
I think Gabby.
Wait, we have to actually decide. I thought we like each got to pick our own MVP.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah. That. I don't think any of us said one though.
It's a Joe Sacamano.
We're just letting.
Joe Sacamado's everyone's MVP. We cut it at that. It's just Joe Sacamano.
Well, now Gabby also made it onto the lineup, so they can share the title. Because Gabby got it for her confessional, from my point of view.
I'm gonna shout out Jason Ding's confessional because he
Mm.
was talking about Holly role playing and it was like he was like, who the fuck? And then just like click finger and then put it away like so casually. Just
I love it. I love
I
it.
second that. That was a
Whenever his
fantastic
confessional
one.
came on, all that was in my head was just King.
He's our king, Jason Day.
He is our king.
Love
He's
that
the king
guy.
of Survivor, officially,
He truly is.
I think.
They
Good.
have
Sorry,
a,
Austin. I don't care if you won. Jason King is the
Yeah,
king.
sorry, Austin. Fantastic.
my confessional king is still Derek. Just because of the vertical box.
Just because of the editing.
That is true. The Saturdays for the boys flag did not get enough views. Oh my god.
that's too much.
Classic.
It's all the
I
parts
love that every
come
time
in
these
whole.
Jake comments come up, it's like his professional LinkedIn headshot.
We should have a Jason Ding starter pack. It's like NyQuil Saturday for the boy. Because he's asleep. I thought that was funny.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie, I would think melatonin instead of
Yeah, like-
NyQuil. Like NyQuil seems like you're trying to do like cough syrup.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, melatonin for sure.
Get a good night's sleep, Saf.
We have Joe Sacamano and Jason Ding's flag for MVP. Do we have a third MVP?
Like a real
Gabby.
one? Like...
What happened to Gabby here?
Gabby was
Gabby.
Best
Sorry,
Confessional.
I thought you
That's
was
Best
just Best
Confessional.
Confessional. I'm sorry. No, yes.
I was gonna
think
put her on
Gabby
in
is
general. Love Gabby.
Always and forever. Wait, did we say at least valuable player? I don't even remember.
Derek for his vertical vlogs. That is
right,
wholeheartedly my pick.
Wait, I thought that was an MVP characteristic.
That's my MVP. That's my.
I can't be both.
See, the season's all about different views. The way that heroes view
True.
things, the way that villains view things.
Wait,
He's
have
a
we
second
decided?
chance.
Wait, is Mike a hero or a villain?
I don't know. I think
I'm-
Mike would be a hero, right? I don't know.
No, I think I'd be a villain.
I have
think
no
he'd be a
idea.
hero.
I lie
villain.
too much. I'm a dirty liar.
Oh. Yeah,
But like people are like,
maybe.
oh, that's just Mike.
I don't know.
I throw my
Oh.
allies out of like. I was so ready to vote out Geneva. I was so ready to vote out Derek at 4. Like,
Okay,
Mike
so
I
you're a
was so
villain.
ready to vote out Holly. Like,
You
Long-
you. But you
Long
didn't
hair
vote
Mike
me out.
villain.
You didn't vote me out, Mike.
I didn't lie to Sabrina, and I didn't vote Sabrina out.
There we
You
go.
also didn't lie to Jason Ding.
This is true. We were supposed to have an alliance, Mike, that never came to fruition. We had that group chat.
We were gonna have a cold cross tribal thing.
It was gonna be really cool,
Aw.
but
Yeah.
then I
It
was
was
gone.
me, Molly, and Ryan. We talked the first week. We were like, we'll watch out for each other. And then
I remember
it
after
just-
first tribal, I was like, guys, like feeling okay. And then I think before I went to this, I was like, guys, I don't think I'm feeling as good this week.
Oh man.
No. Oh, Jesus, that was crazy. It was whack.
The game's always
crazy that we-
crazy.
Right?
Crazy
The
that we've
game
done
is always
4
crazy.
seasons.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You're there for them all,
Wow.
Luke.
I
Yes,
know it's
you
my
are.
last
Every
season.
twist and turn so far.
Every good twist, every bad twist. You gotta, that's Survivor.
Every
That-
twist.
Every twist is a twist. That's that.
True. That's the game.
That's the game. The game is the game. I don't know.
So, Luke, seeing the way that this advantage played out, do you regret it at all?
Technically, it wasn't my idea, but
I ended up
But-
liking it a lot more. I'll tell you that. Watching it,
I don't
air,
mind
I liked
it.
it a lot.
I don't mind it. I think it was interesting. I know like a comment in the actual live show. Someone said like, what if you gave Lydia something in return, not in return, but like also because she was the
Oh.
bounty, so it'd be like a fight, like a guns on guns kind of duel,
Oh, that's a cool
which would have been
idea.
interesting.
That would have been
Mhm.
Which would have
cool.
been interesting, but
If
No,
she
I'm
would have
okay with it.
known about the target on her back, being like, "Can you prevent it?" sort of deal.
oh yeah, it's better than the snake twist, so I don't mind it.
Up and up.
Up and up. I'll say this much: season 4, probably the best twists I've made in a season. I'll say that much. Get excited for
Alright.
season 4.
Great season. Get excited.
Amazing season.
Heard it
My
here
favorite
first.
season. No offense to you 3 that didn't play in the season.
Aw,
Thanks. Thank you, season we're not on.
Kicking
Aw,
you off now.
thanks.
From what I've
Yeah.
heard about it, I think it'll probably be my favorite one too. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a great
It's a
one,
really good
even.
one.
And to close it off with one last superlative, what was the best line this episode? It's a tough question, I think. With
Best
so many
line.
characters, what's the best line?
Austin, I don't fucking lose.
was a
That
good
is
one.
true. That was a good one. I don't-
Amazing.
It's actually crazy that he hadn't gone. I didn't know that he hadn't gone to a pre-merge tribal.
Literally since the first
Since-
two Zeleny ones, he hadn't.
Wow, that's like who from the real show? I don't know. Oh, Jake probably knows,
think.
but
I'm bad with quotes, if I'm being honest.
I am too.
I can remember
Also, we're the gag, of course, the episode title.
Probably
It was a hot
film
cast, but I think season 3 might have been a little hotter. I don't know.
I don't
That's
know
just
the
my
quotes,
opinion.
but I'm trying to think of
Joe.
what anything like Lydia or Gabby would have said during the little back and forth confessionals. Probably Lydia being like, I don't think I'm going home, knock on wood. Always a good editing moment.
Oh no, the first line, Gabby's a bitch. Just straight into it.
Yeah,
That
I'm a
was good.
freaking bitch.
That was good.
No one
Or
wastes time here.
film
No
an
one
exit confessional with Joe Sagamana. Should have been the episode title. Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna like my computer's gonna die and I'm gonna just randomly leave at some point. I have
I was gonna say I got 4 more minutes in me and then I am donezo.
That's fair. I mean, we already got through pretty much everything. I mean, we're pushing an hour 25. We are at an hour 25. We're pushing an hour 26 in like 5 seconds. Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Got too much
Good
to
rap.
say, too many opinions.
So many
We still-
opinions, so much to talk about.
We got a lot of episodes to go.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
can't wait to
episodes
see
to
where this
go.
season goes, but yeah, season 3, hottest season.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, agreed. I will stand by that. It is indeed the hottest season, no questions asked.
Yeah, and
you
or
guys
on
might
the
be
flip side, I like to
all-stars,
say
but-
whatever season I'm on is the hottest season. So season 1 could also count.
I'm technically in every season, so I'll count.
I don't know. I don't know. Season 3. I think season 3. I don't know. Any last remarks? Anything?
Shout out to Sabrina and the editing team. Literally way better than anyone could have imagined. So great premiere. Can't wait to see the rest. And stay tuned because this season gets wild, crazy, all of the above. So
crazy cuckoo. Absolutely. All right, before we go, everyone want to just like say a little exit confessional? I don't know.
Sure.
Anyone have anything to say?
If I can go last, yeah.
Okay.
I guess
I'll
go first. I'll go first. I have the power. Thank you guys for watching. Like said in the episode last season, love everyone here. I love everyone that I met through it. So it's gonna be a great season to watch, but also an emotional one to watch back. But stay tuned. Amazing season. Love everyone, and thanks for watching. Who's next?
I'm sorry, Molly. I'm gonna say that me or Sabrina has to go last for purposes of the
my turn.
Yes.
I'll get the full screen. It was fun to be here. Love this club with a passion. I'm so excited to watch the rest of this season. It was such a fun episode to watch and can't wait to see where it goes.
Who's up?
I don't know.
I'll do it now.
Mike.
I'll do it then. Okay, so subscribe to Syrvivor Syracuse on YouTube. Follow our Instagram, also at Syrvivor Syracuse. Come fill out the post-episode survey in the description below the season 1 or the season 4 premiere. And then also we have a special fundraising event coming up, a Survivor ALS fundraising charity game mini sort of thing. That more details in the future, but please just know about I don't know where I'm going with this. Be aware of it. It's gonna happen very soon, hopefully in the month of January. We have big things planned for it. We are looking for players within the college survivor community to be a part of it. So if you're interested in that, tomorrow I will be putting something on our Instagram and in college or group chats. So look out for those.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, like Mike said, we've got a really exciting charity game coming up. Lots of special twists and guests and all of this really exciting stuff going on, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. That should be happening in January, as Mike said, of course. And yeah, and keep tuning into Syrvivor Syracuse every Thursday. We've got new episodes. As for me, yeah, I'll be here. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Sabrina_Mauro. If you want to add me on LinkedIn, I think it's also just my name. So anyway, yeah. So okay, yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
Just
we're
know
good.
about it.
Yeah, Sam, get those 500 plus LinkedIn followers.
I need to start like doing more with my LinkedIn. I need to
You
start
gotta put
being a
your
real
full name.
person.
Oh wait, whatever in the bio.
I don't even have my full
So
name.
you can get
I
those LinkedIn.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
Alright.
god.
Well,
It's okay. It's fine. But thank you everyone who tuned in. And now, I don't know, those of you who are still here. We had a great time talking about the premiere. I look forward to looking at the rest of the season. And yeah, everyone have a great holiday season. Stay safe and yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye, y'all.